I'm gonna read to you guys Government Trap, which is on page 7. Never will there be another Black Panther moment. We will come up with a modern-day slavery, mentally destroy them all. We are not going to be choosy. Let them think they are winning when actuality, they're losing. The Black man can sit at the table with us. We will use him for some good luck to deliver our message, resulting in his household being filled with stress and depression. There will never be another Black Panther moment. It's a must, it's urgent, and it's mandatory that we teach them a critical lesson. Mentally enslaved, they will search obliviously for a form of heaven. Unable to find happiness, let's just comfort them by flooding their neighborhood with crack. Lost hope, addiction, and poverty will result in suicide and homicides back to back. Our plan will be accomplished ignoring their pleas and cries. Another Black man destroyed. Now let's laugh at them and wave goodbye. Let's quickly benefit from their stupidity and act like we are concerned. Send the Black man to prison, our number one business. Lots of money will be earned. This will create a generation of a broken race who will be ignorant of the power that has been purposely replaced. And their dominant DNA that runs throughout their blood is why we hate and envy them so much. Especially made by God. Wonder why he didn't give us none. Hold on. The Black woman will be left with the responsibility of raising her children alone. To be rich, they will sell their soul. Different men will enter in and out of the Black woman's home. Take the father out of the home, throw them in prison, the minds of their family will be gone. The Black woman will forget the true meaning of self-love, while yearning, praying, and pleading for just one hug. With the influences of social media and our co-workers, the celebrities, the Black man's priority is becoming respected as a thug. This mindset will be passed on from generation to generation. High five, I said high five. High five KKKs for teaching these ignorant niggas a lesson. Again, there will never be another Black Panther moment. That's all for this session. Sincerely, USA government. So that's just one of them, one of 28. So yeah, check it out. It's pretty good. I got a lot of good poems in here. Just check it out. You won't be disappointed. Just $11.99. You can get it from Amazon. I'm gonna read a little something out of Cinnamon for you guys. This is basically a memoir. Yeah. Oh, we got a few chapters here. I got 15 chapters. Little short chapters. We'll go with the dark ages, chapter 1. Just read a little bit. Just a little bit. I know a lot of you folks don't like to read, but come on, you gotta educate your mind. I want to tell you guys that I was looking up, I was doing some research, and I was looking up how humans will be in 1,000 years. The year 3000, they said that a lot of people, our brains are going to be smaller and our heads are going to be thicker. And the reason why the brain is going to be smaller is because we're not going to be using it much, because we're going to be so in tune with social media. They also said our hands are going to be kind of like this, like claws or whatever, just for holding the phone. Holding the phones or whatever. Our hands are going to be different and our brains are going to be smaller. Not us, but the future us or whatever. Like in the year 3000, 2100 or whatever. Yeah, our brain's going to be smaller because we don't use our brains no more. Nobody likes to read. So reading is really fundamental to your brain. So pick up the book and just read. It was a gloomy, cloudy Sunday afternoon when Cinnamon frantically stormed out of her trailer with blood gushing from the top of her head. Let me see, because I'm reading from the phone. I'm going to read, instead of reading from, yeah, I'm going to do it like this. It was a gloomy, cloudy Sunday afternoon when Cinnamon frantically stormed out of her trailer with blood gushing from the top of her head, a black eye, and a swollen lip. Her jumbo box braids were drenched with blood, and identifying her would have been impossible due to the boundless size of her swollen upper and lower lips. She wore an all-black sundress with black flip-flops. She stood at 5 feet 3 inches, and she weighed 185 pounds, thick in all the right places. Guys loved the way she looked because not only was she gorgeous, but her eyes were hypnotizing. She and her husband got into a heated argument, which led to him viciously beating her up for hours. This was nothing new. They occasionally fought like cats and dogs after a night out of drinking, partying, snorting, popping pills, and smoking marijuana. Her husband demanded her to be ready to get fucked when he come back from taking a piss. Something hit her like a wave once she heard the bathroom door slam shut. Something told her to get up and get the hell out of there. Running out of their house like a mad woman, Cinnamon anxiously jumped into their black Navigator truck that was parked in the yard. Feeling terrified of the thought of her husband and what he would do once he realized that she wasn't in the house caused her entire body to tremble with fear. Quickly cranking up the truck, and before she could drive up, the devil emerged. Enraged, her husband came running out of the house like a madman. Oh, hell. He's going to fucking kill me, Cinnamon thought, as she turned the keys in the ignition and sped off. Yeah, bitch, go be with that nigga and do what you do best and go. He angrily yelled at the top of his lungs. See, Raheem was the type who always had to be right and could do no wrong. He was territorial, viciously jealous, and physically, sexually, emotionally abusive. He stood at 5'11" with a 145-pound frame, and he had long hair that he kept braided for as long as Cinnamon had known him. They had been together for 7 years and married for only 4 months. Their relationship has been rocky since day one, and getting married was the worst decision she's ever made. Everybody seemed to know this except Cinnamon. She drove around Claiborne County until the guy's hand landed on E. Before she knew it, she started to have an anxiety attack. A few years back, she was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Drugs, sex, and alcohol was her antidote. All her problems seemed to come down on her all at once. She has been in denial and blind to all the things that was going on in her life. She was oblivious to the fact that she was the cause of all her trouble. For the past few years, she abused drugs and alcohol to suppress her pain. Little did she know that on that particular Sunday morning, it would be the starting point of the chaos that was to come. She could feel this demonic presence that tormented her throughout her entire life, hovering over her body. She approached a dead-end road, and she placed the truck in park. She reached over to the passenger seat, went into her purse, and slowly pulled out her gun. You would never be anything. Just do it. Go ahead and take yourself out. Nobody loves you, not even your own mother and father. Those were the thoughts that ran through her mind as she sat in her truck with her .45 pistol pressed against the left side of her head. She was devastated because life at age 28 was not how she expected it to be. She felt as though she was in hell, and the best description of what she was experiencing would be the feeling of being worthless, lost, and hopeless. Her best friend was out of her life. Her marriage was a disaster. Her family could care less about her. She lost custody of her 2 boys, and to top it off, she was battling addiction along with mental disorders. She sat in the driver's seat with tears flowing down her face. I can't do this shit no more. I want out, she said to herself with slob and snot pouring from her nose and mouth. She held the gun to her head while sobbing. Babies, Mommy will always love you, and I'm sorry. Please forgive me. She then closed her eyes and pulled the trigger. Click was the sound that was heard as she realized that she wasn't dead. She was so belligerent that she didn't realize that the clip of the gun was next to her in the passenger seat. What the fuck, she yelled as she angrily punched her fist into the steering wheel. She reached over to the passenger seat and attached the clip and placed it into the gun and cocked it back. She closed her eyes, placed the gun on the right side of her neck, and proceeded to slowly start to count down, starting from 3, 2, and before she could say 1, she heard a voice in her head that told her that she was forgiven for all her sins and she had a chance to make everything right. That voice also told her that she had a second chance to get her life together, to be strong and live righteous, and that good things will follow. That voice gave her the feeling of calmness. And within that calmness, a big weight was lifted off her shoulders. She sat there thinking about her life, about the people she hurt and took advantage of. That's when she became curious to know how and where the root of this curse began. Then suddenly out of nowhere, she passed out from exhaustion and drifted off into a place that she called the Dark Ages. The reason because this is when darkness gave its barbaric introduction. It began in the winter of 1988 when Cinnamon was only 1.5 years old. What you guys think? What y'all think? What y'all think, y'all? It's a lot of more good stuff. Then the next chapter will be the Dark Ages. Like I said, they're really short chapters. Check me out. You know, I tried. I really tried, guys. So, tell me what y'all think. Go ahead and buy it. Only $11.99. Show some support. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Love you guys. Cat Motivation.